What's up, my fellow metalheads? Today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try see if I actually like doing this stuff, whatever. But I'm going to try to critique a album in its entirety. Uh, Myself background: I played drums for a little bit in high school, in the military a little bit, and a little bit in college. Uh, had a band. We didn't really make it big or nothing like that. I did write lyrics a little bit, so I had a little bit with that. Pretty much how song structures and all that type of stuff goes. But overall, this is still just my opinions about everything. So you can agree with me, you can disagree with me. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about this. The first band I'm actually going to do this with is a band I found while I was in high school. My brother, when I was in the military, he found them, and when he came back, he got me one of their first albums. And the band I'm talking about is Gravedigger. Oh, well, the microphone stands away. Anyway, Gravedigger. They're from Germany. They are a power metal style. Uh, the first album I ever got by them was Knights of the Cross. I like that album a lot, but that was also my first introduction to them. I like them a lot because of their uh, simplicity of like their songs. Wasn't nothing too crazy. Their storytelling was pretty good, and then yeah, I liked also that I liked the whole album together consisted of one thing together. Uh, but yeah, their new album just dropped last Friday. Bone Collector. I don't know what album number this is. I know they release a new album about every 2 to 3 years or something like that. So they have a bunch up there, um, and they're getting up there in age. But yeah, I'll tell you what I think about it and all that. Now I'm going to break down each song. Hopefully not too long for this. I don't want to make this video too long. But also, I have to do my drink. So hang on. Today we're going to be doing the Creamy Peanut Butter Ale by O'Fallon Brewery, which I think closed down. So, yeah, if it's good, probably won't be able to get it again. It's definitely a ale, creamy ale, pretty light. Uh, Not overpowering of the peanut butter, but you can definitely tell it's there. What is the alcohol content on this thing? No idea. Also, not too worried about because I don't think I'd actually get drunk off of just one cream ale. Well, I know I won't, but anyway, overall, pretty light. Probably only drink one at a time. It's not the greatest. Maybe that's why the brewery went under. That was bad. Anyway, on to Gravedigger's Bone Collector. The opening song is Bone Collector. The tempo for it, it's pretty mid, pretty mild for it, but a lot of Gravedigger songs are pretty mid. They don't ever go into the crazy speed of like speed metal or death metal or anything like that. They pretty much keep mid tempos for most of their songs throughout their entire career, pretty much. Um, the lyrics for this song, to me, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. He doesn't really ever talk about why is he collecting bones, and it just repeats it a lot that he's the bone collector, graveyard dictate, graveyard dictator, something like that, something that rhymes with collector. Overall, the lyrics just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but Gravedigger lyrics a lot of times aren't the greatest that way. And also, the first chorus, not first chorus, first verse is always longer than the second verse. Not been a big fan of that. Their verses aren't also very long. They like to repeat choruses a lot. But the intro does have like this siren sound type of thing going off. Um, but during the chorus, there is this guitar sound that helps emphasize the pace of the lyrics, which I thought was kind of cool. And it carries into the bridge before the solo. The solo, in my eyes, solos should help emphasize what you should see as you're listening to the song, like either help emphasize the lyrics or something like that, or that's usually how I feel like solo should be. It should be something kind of like that, or it should be like the climax of what the whole song is. This solo for this one was okay at best. Like it wasn't didn't strike a chord for me or nothing. And this song does repeat the chorus quite a lot, and which I did not like. The next song is "The Rich, the Poor, and the Dying." Um, Again, it's a mid one, but it gets It's faster than Bone Collector, but it's still a mid-pace one. The lyrics are pretty much about people overthrowing the government or the king or something like that. You know, the poor and the poor versus the rich, but they're all dying type of thing. Uh, the intro riff it's pretty good. It kind of gets you to moving and stuff, which is nice contrast to the Bones one, which kind of dragged out after a while. Chris's voice, Chris is the vocalist for those who do not know. It works well for this since he is always kind of like half singing, half yelling. That might also be partly his heritage, his Germanness in him, for lack of a better word. Uh, I would have liked the solo to depict a little bit more of a havoc or action type of thing. The solo in my eyes, it just brought it didn't do nothing. Like I didn't ever feel like they were going to overthrow anything. It just kind of seemed like it was just a solo just to be a solo there, which not all songs need solos, but if it's going to be there, I need to like actually kind of emphasize help bring the song together, and it didn't really do that. The next song is Kingdom of Skulls. Again, it's also a mid pace tempo. The lyrics, it's about a time of day, midnight presumably, where skeletons come out to play. All right, wasn't the greatest idea, or I didn't think so anyway. There is a bass and drum intro before the drum guitar comes in. That was pretty cool. It definitely emphasized how their bass goes. The riff is a little boring. Never really speeds up either. The chorus is a little boring. To me, this whole song was pretty much boring. The solo comes in and doesn't really have a dance type of feel, which that's kind of how like the whole song feels like it should, and it was way too fast for it. That one would have been better if it was on the For Rich or Dying song, like actually have more of an action type of thing. The next song on this one is The Devil's Serenade, probably the most popular one off of this one. Again, it's also a mid one, doesn't really speed up or slow down. The lyrics, they're about going out into the city for a concert or to a concert or going out to have fun pretty much, but this one seems more like they're going to a concert. Some of the better lyrics actually, because you can like see this one, like he actually goes a little bit more descriptive into it. And yeah, again, it like has a longer first verse than the second one. It does have a nice intro riff, wants you to move, which makes sense. This is supposed to be a serenade, you know, like he wants you to move it around, get the mosh pit starting type of thing. After the first chorus, so the song is half over. So it's kind of a short song, goes way too quick. It goes too quick to the bridge in the chorus. Like it doesn't actually kind of build up into nothing like that. The chorus is one of those sing-along type of ones where the crowd will love it just because, it says Devil's Serenade. Thanks, computer, for telling me I need crap. And the crowd will love yelling it, which they repeat Devil's Serenade way too much. And on to the next song, which Killing Is My Pleasure, which is my favorite song off this album. It's probably one of their faster songs they have on here, which is probably why it's one of my favorite ones. And it's about a serial killer. That's about it. The riff is a very gravediggerish. Pretty good. The song does slow slightly for the bridge, but then the chorus picks up, and the chorus he actually sings pretty fast, which usually for a lot of the choruses of the other songs, he sings them slow, which might be another reason why I kind of like this one, is because it's a different type of thing they haven't done on this album yet. And they don't repeat the chorus too much, which is also another thing I kind of like. The slow, though, like slowly picks up kind of thing. So like the serial killer, in my eyes, is like stalking the prey, finds the prey, all that, and then eventually goes into killing the person, which is kind of cool. Like that's how the solo kind of slowly progressed, and that's kind of what I like. That's what I like. That's what I want to hear in solos and songs, is where it kind of just paints you a picture. It doesn't matter what the picture is. Obviously, in this one, it's killing and murder and all that, which is not exactly the greatest picture you should be painting, but it's also metal, and that's going to be a lot of our topics sometimes. The next song is Mirror of Fate. This is a slow song. It's about a person that is heartbroken, and now he hates himself, and he's pretty much looking in the mirror, looking at what he despises, what he hates, and all that. Again, it's a slow riff of the drum rhythm. Picks up a little bit for the bridge and the chorus, but then it goes back to the mid slow part. I can imagine a person just staring at the mirror though, like they're just staring at it, trying to figure out what they did wrong and all that. And the lyrics kind of seem like that too, like heartbroken and all that, trying to figure out what they did wrong. It does pick up a little bit at the end, but the mirror keeps pulling you in faster. And at the end of it, it goes back to that slower thing, just kind of like he's done. He's found his relief, which could possibly be suicide. Doesn't or say anything like that, but he does talk about a lot about how he hates his life, hates everything that happened to him. So I could see possibly how that would be it. The next song is Riders of Doom, another mid-paced one. This one, to me, the lyrics make absolutely no sense because they're riders, they're on horses, but they're in a forest. And if you've ever ridden horses and stuff, riding in the forest isn't exactly the greatest, easiest time to do. But I was wondering if maybe this is based on a real event or something. The lyrics are very vague; don't give you really any type of explanation. So I was hoping maybe they might give me some, but no. Uh, and it has more of a marching feel to it, and not really like a galloping feel. For it being riders and metal, like it's pretty easy to get a galloping feel, get that triplet going pretty well that Iron Maiden does so great. Um, but it doesn't really get you moving or anything. Uh, got me confused more than anything, really. Uh, the, the instrumentation part leading up to the solo, again, that really didn't do anything. For being Riders of Doom, I never really felt Doom. I really never felt like I was stalked or nothing like that. Uh, the solo is pretty good, though, but it's kind of a shame because it's one of their slower mid songs, and I can't imagine that the writers are doing anything crazy with that solo. Um, that's about it. For the next song, Made of Madness, this is probably my second favorite song on this album. It's one of their faster ones as well. Again, probably why it's one of my favorite ones off of this one. The lyrics on it, basically talking about how we're all the same, the rich and the poor, but all of us are mad, and the world's going to hell. Uh, Nothing too crazy lyric wise, but again, English isn't their first language. But it starts with a nice slow guitar part, but it eventually picks up, kind of like a slow dance feel, but then it breaks into a fast guitar riff whenever they actually start getting into the verse and stuff. And the chorus with the guitar leaves for a bit, and it's just the bass and drum accents, which is pretty cool, like something different. So it kind of again gets you like that chanting along type of feeling when you're at a concert. You'll just be wanting to yell, "Made of Madness" type of thing. And the solo does a great job of going mad, like actually just wailing on the guitar. Nothing as fast as Dragon Force or nothing like that, but actually like has a pretty crazy mad part where it looks like it might be on the point of where it might have come unhinged or off the wheels, but it doesn't quite do it. And then it picks back up into the tempo and ends out the song, which overall made it pretty good. The next song is Graveyard Kings. Again, just another mid-tempo one. The lyrics to this one, to me, it felt like it's kind of like all the men who have died on a battlefield, um, and a lot of those that never got the actual proper uh, burial as they probably should have. And that's a lot of just because he talks about crows watching low over them and stuff, and they come out at nighttime and everything. But yeah, it's a mid-tempo riff. The chorus seems to not get the pattern down, like he was trying to shove in words, kind of like a Moonlight, it just didn't flow very well. And the solo is slow and a little lackluster, which I guess if you're just walking on the battle scene, then yeah, that might kind of make sense of why that would happen. Overall, though, that song was not one of my favorite ones. But the next song, Forever Evil and Buried Alive, it's a faster tempo song. I guess it'd probably be number 3 if I had to put it as my favorite, but I didn't mark it in my notes. But again, it's about a person who's buried alive in a coffin and is coming to terms that it's their end. Like they're scratching, clawing at it, but they can't get out and everything. But the whole time, he's talking about how he's been forever evil type of thing. So if he ever does come back out, he's just going to wreak more evil type of thing. Nothing spectacular with the lyrics, but it was all right. But it's fast from the start. The solo, I can sense the person in the coffin is starting to struggle and claws on their surroundings before and slowly to death. And the song kind of slows down there, and which I guess that's when he comes to terms of it. Overall, not a bad one. And then it ends with Whispers of the Dam. It's a slow one that kind of picks up there at the end. Uh, Gravedigger has had slow songs before at the end. Thinking of The Darkness from their Edgar Allan Poe album. Songs like that. That's kind of how this one I think would kind of be, except for it is a little bit faster than that one. But it's a slow start, somewhat haunting sound before it picks up a little. But it goes back to a slow for the verses and stuff, and it picks up a little for the choruses, and it gets dark and heavier after the second chorus. And then the solo, it just keeps screaming. Didn't really say whispers or haunting eulogy for me. Like it just solo kept screaming. It could have been better, like actually give it more of like a haunting, whispery sound. But again, that was me. But it does. This one does have a third verse, and then it goes into that slow sound before it goes into the third verse. And yeah, that's how it ends pretty much. Overall, like this album just seems to be a lot of it was about death, going mad, that type of stuff, being in a graveyard, bones and all that, which I will say Gravedigger, their later years, they have started like doing concept albums kind of like that, where they'll put a lot of the songs about the same ideas, same something. It was all right overall. I mean, it's Gravedigger. If you like the Gravedigger sound, then yeah, this album you'll probably like. For me, I grew up with them. I like them. They're not my favorite band, but I definitely put them in probably my top 100 of favorite bands. But that's not saying much considering there's a lot of bands. But overall, I'd probably give it about a 6 out of 10. But tell me what you know or what you think about this. Did you like this album? If not, did you even know Gravedigger had a new album? If not, go check it out. Or leave a comment and let me know. All right. Till next time. Bye.